Welcome to our talk show. Before we begin, we would like to make a disclaimer that everything mentioned in this show comes from personal experiences and opinions. We may refer to biblical references and teachings from the man of God, Prophet Philip Banda, but these are also subject to personal interpretation. Our goal is to share our perspectives and experiences, and we encourage our viewers to seek guidance and counsel from trusted sources before making any significant decisions in their lives. Furthermore, the views expressed in this show may not represent the views of Impact for Christ Ministries. We acknowledge that everyone has their own unique journey and circumstances, and what may have worked for us may not necessarily apply to others. Hey everyone, how is it going? How are you today? Welcome back to today's live youth talk show. My name is Ruben and I'm here with...
Hey everyone, my name's Luto, and today we're going to talk about transitioning from high school to varsity, the ups and downs and the shock and the surprises that come for it, because actually no one is actually really prepared for it until you are inside ngapakati, just like adulting. All right?
Yeah.
We have our panelists here with us. Please introduce yourselves.
Hi guys, my name is Mbali. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Edwin.
All right, guys, as we get into it, let us discuss. Many times, Prophet has taught us about like school and choosing friends. For me, Percy did give us an example of how long we should look, like we observe people in varsity and how long, and see those who are focused, those who are there opening throats, those who are partying, those, you know. So yeah, do you guys have any add-ons onto that?
What I can remember is that he said if you can count your friends
Yeah.
with your hands, yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, that's just genuinely a lot.
Well, on Sunday, the Prophet also mentioned that first, when you see people, you see it groupings, observe for 9 months.
Yeah.
And then you can approach, and they should go in line with what you're doing. So that, I think, so you can balance each other. Yeah. So 9 months observing your friends and then choosing.
Yeah. Any add-ons?
Okay, I want to hear from you. What are the differences between high school life and varsity life?
High school life, for me, because those people, it's more like we grew up together. So I don't have to work hard to choose friends. Are they good for me? Do they bring me up and whatever? But varsity, it's more like, okay, if I choose the wrong group of friends, then I'm going to go off.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay attention on my whatever, on my school, but if it's the right group, the opposite happens. Choosing friends in school and in varsity, yeah, that's the difference.
Yeah.
In high school, we grew up with them, so we don't hustle too much. While in varsity, you have to observe. Like, if the Prophet would say 9 months, then it's very important. 9 months is a lot of time to get to know someone.
I agree with you, because in high school, it's more of a thing of you found those people there. Even in university, you find the people there, but in high school, with more time, you share classes and you just relate. You grew up with them. I agree with you on that. And then in varsity, you are more conscious and more mature.
You grown
about how important your surroundings are, the people you surround yourself with. So it gets a bit tricky. I understand. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And to add on to how you're saying with like varsity, since we're talking about the aspect of friends in varsity, is that like, as you said, in high school, like you said, you've grown together. And low-key fire by force, you end up being friends with someone who you're like desk mates with, if that makes sense. Or it's because you all play netball together, then you're gonna be friends with those people. Or because maybe you use the same lift club. So it's circumstances that kind of make you friends with people in high school compared to like varsity. Whereas in varsity now, it's you kind of grow into yourself. And even what happens is that, like, for example, when I matriculated, most of the people I went to school, like, left the country. And I was like, wow, guys, I didn't get the memo. Why wasn't I invited to this? You all just up and left, right? So now you have to try and relearn how to make friends. And I felt like at the beginning of, like, my varsity days, I remember, and what happens is that, like, you see how Prophet says you have to wait 9 months. I remember, so it was orientation. And so now people, obviously, you all new, you don't know what's going on. And you end up just like, oh, you're lost, I'm lost. Okay, we're friends now. And then you kind of like grow through that because of that. We were there with each other at the beginning. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have any add-ons.
Kind of understand, to be honest. It's kind of same as my friends right now.
Yeah.
The school I'm at, I went there grade 9.
Yeah.
So the friend I'm with now is also new. So everyone in my squad, everyone is just new. So that's how it happened. And we're a big squad.
Yeah.
But then I only have like 4 friends though.
Yeah.
But it's a big squad though. Can't understand.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about what are the differences between high school and varsity. Okay, wait, before we get into that, let's talk about like high school life. Like when you look back since you're in high school and you like finished high school, when you think high school, like reminiscing, or should I start?
Yeah.
So high school for me, right, was a time, I guess, for lack of a baby word, you are babied and you are like protected and like there's someone to hold your hand along the journey. That's how it was. Also, like high school's hectic. Maybe, well, for me personally, I was that child who was I was like netball captain. I was part of leadership at school. I was really going above and beyond. So I really actually didn't have like a lot of time for like extra things. Like I would get to school 6:30, get home 7:00. And then I'd end up crashing and then wake up because now I have to catch up and do homework. So that was like high school for me. It was just forever constantly busy, and then Saturdays, tournaments. So high school was, I guess, just focusing on that and kind of just going with it and having like a proper routine. I think that was high school for me.
Yeah. How is high school for you now?
Kuningi. For me, it's a lot because obviously sometimes we have morning classes. I'm expected to be there early, and then we've got afternoon classes. I knock off at 4, and then from school to home it's usually an hour, and from to home it's an hour, and then when I get home, we have chores. Yeah, and then homeworks, and then there's studying, and then I have to juggle with load shedding, and then it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot, to be honest. And then there's Saturday classes. Sometimes like I can't do like church things. I remember there was the youth meeting last. I wanted to come, but I couldn't come. I had classes. So it was just bad. Like I'm wearing uniform. I'm from school, to be honest. So it's a lot, guys. I go ning.
Well, high school was easy for me because even the timetable there, you don't have to make it yourself. It's already made for you. You just have to show up, and for every class you just have to go from this class to this class to this class. There's no time of, okay, I'm tired, let me go out. Like now I can say, okay, no, I've had enough for the day and I'm done. There until break, and then again. So it was easy. There was a routine. You follow that.
You know, high school in a sense it's more like crash, or preschool, because it's preparing you now for varsity. And my experience in high school, I took it like a crash, if I have to be honest. I was a very lively and social kid. I wouldn't say I was naughty. Not necessarily. Maybe I was.
To be honest, you know what you're giving? You're giving like class clown vibes.
Facts.
I was a big class clown. Most of the teachers didn't like me. Some did. I mean, I was a smart kid. So, I was just very loud. I'm loud. You guys think I'm loud, right?
Yeah.
So my experience in high school was, contrary to what a lot of people say, I enjoyed high school. Like a lot. Not the learning part.
Same.
The fun part. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it so much. Like I would wake up in the morning, wow, I'm going to school today. I'm going to see my friends. And I was just having fun in high school. And That's my experience in high school. I wouldn't say that made me fail. It didn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I also wouldn't say I had balance because I would play a lot. I'll play 70% of the time, study 30% of the time. But don't be like me, kids. Read your books and study. Don't be like me.
Focus.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, also, I also really enjoyed my high school experience. Maybe because I was a sporty person, so I really enjoyed like the tournaments, and like we also had like an action netball group, so which is like indoor netball. So even sometimes after matches is okay, next action netball, and so I think what the lack of a better word, I just missed the adrenaline of high school. Like it just kept you so busy and active and happy. And with back, I will be right back. Please let us know what you think the difference is between high school and varsity, and we'll catch you right back after the break.
I'm excited.
It's such a great experience to come.
What a precious moment.
Introduce Mr. and Mrs. Foucault.
There is no better place to restart your Christian journey than to go on a pilgrimage to the land of milk and honey, the land that is mentioned more than 2,000 times in the Holy Scriptures that we read, the land of Israel. Join the man of God, Prophet Philip Banda, as he makes the annual pilgrimage to the Holy Land of Israel from the 6th to the 17th of August, 2023.
All right, welcome back, everyone. So before the break, we were just discussing the differences between high school and university, and then we spoke about friends in high school and university, and we spoke a little about our experiences in high school.
Yeah.
So now we want to talk about a little bit about our experiences in university, and there's someone who decided to join us. Okay, hi there, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks, and you?
I'm great, thank you. Would you care to introduce yourself?
Okay, so I'm Héritier Kaumbu. What do you want to know about me?
What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is blue. What's yours?
Blue. Mine is black.
Oh, why black, man?
Why black? Because it's not a common color that everyone likes. Edwin looks good in black today.
No, I know he does, man.
Actually,
He does.
FYI, you know, black is actually not a color.
What
It's
is
a
it?
Shade.
Oh, but is
A shade of what?
Could black
Just a
be?
shade.
Could black be the absence of color?
Yeah, so it's a shade.
Oh,
Oh.
But
I
it's
just
still
learned something. We're in school.
Yeah, correct.
Mm.
So
Anyway.
as Ruben said, we were talking about the differences between high school and varsity, but before the break, we're focusing more on high school. Now we're going to talk about varsity. For me personally, varsity, I think maybe because I had such like a hectic high school schedule, and then varsity wasn't, okay, also maybe because it's the varsity I went to, it wasn't as hectic. Like, I was like, guys, now I'm done with like classes already. Like, now I've had 4 hours of school. What must happen, right? Also, it's the independence, right? I think we're so used to high school. Okay, guys, no, next class, next class. And then varsity, like, if you don't pitch the class, you don't pitch the class. That's on you.
And no one's gonna chase after you.
And no one's going to chase after you. I think for me, I think it was the independence that came with Varsity. Also, that Harvard referencing system. Yo. Learning how to reference after assignments. Personally, I was shook. I said, what? Because obviously in school, they teach you like the easy way of referencing. And then you get to high school, and I'm in Varsity, and it's a whole different, like it's a paragraph just to reference. Yeah, that was, for me personally, that was my Varsity shookness.
And Bali?
I'm not in Varsity.
Yeah, it's a joke.
It looks scary.
It looks scary.
The way you're talking about right now, the referencing part, how what?
No, it's not scary. Like it's not. Once you get there, remember how like matric used to be scary in grade 8? Now you're in matric and you're
No, but
doing-
matric was actually scary. Hey, isn't it scary like even now?
I'm not scared yet.
Not
I'm
yet.
supposed to be scared.
No,
Oh, no, you
don't
shouldn't
scare
be.
the child.
As a, no, you shouldn't be scared of it.
Okay.
As a child of God, you are the difference.
So
It's
it's
just-
fun. It's fun.
It's just about being focused in
Yeah.
matric. Just focus.
Yeah.
Again, don't be like me.
I'm five chapters behind.
So you're like me.
Yeah.
It's fine. You'll catch up. Don't worry. You'll catch up. You got this.
Anyways,
We believe in you.
Ritier, can you please tell us about your experience in university? We actually saw that you graduated, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Okay, it's got its advantages and disadvantages. I'm going to say good sides and bad sides. The good sides are you are very free, which can also be very bad because if you become too free, then you won't be able to follow, right? So yeah, and okay, it was also quite fun if you really do what you like the most, because now you won't have someone to push you to do whatever that you're doing. You just do it because you love it, right? And yeah, and I think the best way for me to answer this question is like, asking me maybe a question about something, and then I'll tell you a lot about it. If I start now, then I think we'll finish, I don't know, tomorrow. Because I have so much to talk about Varsity, and it was really exciting. But yeah, to be honest, it was really exciting.
Yeah. Any add-on?
It's amazing.
yeah.
Not going for class every time. Not being in a box. Not in a box, in a routine of now it's this, now it's this, now it's this. That brings pressure and stress and fear. So when you know, okay, I've had enough, like you go and detox, then you come back.
Yeah.
For me, it's amazing.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and to add on what he said, so when you go and detox, right, and don't go for too long, because after that, then you have a lot of things to catch up on, and it's just a lot. You'll sleep, you won't sleep, you'll have those blue eyes there, and that's not nice, man. It's not nice.
Under the eyes,
Yeah.
It's not nice.
Yeah.
Are you listening?
I think another difference with like high school and varsity, I think it comes a lot to tests besides like assignments. Because like in school, even if you were flopping, even if your average was 5%, you'd still like write tests, right? Whereas in varsity, now you have to qualify. I think for me, I think it was that you need to actually qualify to write this test. And if you don't qualify to write this test, you're going to see this module again next year. So I felt like that for me was also like, I need to qualify. I'm not just going to enter. Yeah. How was that for you guys?
For the most part, for me, for example, in my first year, we had what we call continuous assessment because of COVID, right?
Yeah.
So we were not writing exams as in you had to qualify. We were just writing test upon test, and then at the end of the semester, you have your marks. That was kind of scary, but then it's gone. Now we have to adjust to qualifying for a test. If you do not qualify, then you don't write it. It's like that disqualifying you from even having a chance to to show what you know. So yeah, I think that's something to really take into consideration when you're there.
For me, I haven't had an opportunity to not to qualify for something. So
for anything.
Yeah. I just go on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I also, same here, I think it was that thing of, okay guys, now you have to get this certain percentage for exams. I don't remember. I think it was 50%.
50. Yeah.
Yeah, you had to have like your average had to be 50% for that particular semester. And I think it's the workload that comes in varsity, because like in high school you have time to like study a whole book over the course of like 9 months. Now in varsity you have to study a whole book under 3 months, and then you're going to get tested on that. So I think also the workload is also time, and I think what varsity needs is discipline.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah.
So much discipline, because if you don't have discipline, you're gonna see flames.
I agree with what you're saying with discipline in varsity, which also leads to the next prompt or question. How do your responsibilities change when from transitioning from high school to varsity? Now, how do your responsibilities change, and disciplining yourself to do certain stuff at a certain time, and just tell us about how your responsibilities change. And
Okay, I'll talk about my experience, right? I did high school in Congo, right? So it was a bit different from what I heard from you. So, well, they used to tell us, let's say, they would give us a scope in, let's say, for example, what you have to study for this specific assessment.
Yeah.
They still do the same thing in varsity, but it's a bit a lot. The content is much bigger. So I think one thing maybe you need to discipline yourself on is to recapping on everything that you study. Like, let's say at the end of the week, you just say no, you have to go through it. Because if you just leave it, trust me, it has happened to me. I've slept on campus for 2 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't leave things behind. So yeah, just give yourself that discipline to actually every time recap, and then when you have a test or an assessment, you'll just go through everything that you've already seen before, which will be a bit faster.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the first part where you have to discipline yourself. For me, anything else you wanna add?
On responsibilities, I think we end up falling back because of procrastinating. You leave something for another time because it's kind of easy, so you say, no, I'll do it some other time. Let me focus on this. And it powers up, and it powers up. When you're going back to it, boom,
Yeah.
it's big.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
that's
Yeah.
very true.
So I think when it comes to like your responsibilities, to answer like how they mentioned, it's about discipline and procrastination. So in general, procrastination is just, I think, every student's issue. Like for me personally, when I was in varsity, this girl procrastinated, hey? I procrastinated. I remember during exams where you procrastinating to the point where you're like, when you're going over like a particular module and you're like, when did we learn this? It's when did we start learning? I don't remember learning this. So now you actually, so I'm one of those people, because no one is forcing you to go to class. Like now you can choose whether you want or not to go to class. Like the lecturer will even lecture even if there's 3 people in that lecture, right? So I'm the big advocate, if you are in varsity, go to class. It makes life so much easier when you are going back, and if you are a procrastinator, at least that information is sitting there, even if it's even at least a small amount of it. So when you do go back to it, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember this. Whereas I feel like if you do skip classes, sometimes you go back and you're like, oh, we learned this, when did this happen? Oh, it's probably that class I missed, and stuff like that. So like I finished, my last year was during COVID, and I think that's when a huge amount of discipline was needed. Because like even now with work, guys, I must be waking up at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock and stuff like that, and I have a lecture at 8. Best believe at 7:59, that's when I'm waking up and I'm opening my laptop in my bed in my pajamas to attend that lecture. So I think I think just discipline. Yeah.
Okay, now I have a question then.
Yeah.
So, like, you know how, like you're saying, sometimes you skip classes and whatnot, and you're like, how you go back? What if you don't go back? Have you, like, ever written, like, a test without knowing a chapter at all?
Okay, so for me personally, not that it's that it's not fully studying for a particular chapter because there's like a lot of work, and because you took time and you procrastinated, now you're rushing everything, you're cramming to pass your test. You're actually not absorbing the information. You're cramming just to pass. So to answer your question, for me personally, I'd probably skim through certain chapters and I'd be like, oh Lord, please may this not be in the paper tomorrow. Please, I'm asking. And so God was on my side. Luckily, the things I did study were in that paper, and the stuff that I did skim over weren't like things that were like cost a lot of marks. That was my personal experience. I don't know if anyone has gone to an exam room and what you didn't study was there.
Actually, I don't think it has ever happened to me, right? As in, like, what you didn't study just comes into the test. But then if it does happen, maybe you just freestyle it sometimes.
Yeah. You really...
Yeah. What I like also about Varsity is you don't have to answer exactly what is in the book, right? Like, what is in it. So you apply your understanding on a specific topic. You don't have to exactly say what the teacher said, but if you can say something that means almost what he said, you can grab some mark instead of having a total 0. And don't just leave your answers empty. Nah, just try to say something. You read and it's like, okay, maybe he's trying to say something, and you might get a point or something, instead of just leaving it empty so it doesn't have anything to work with, Yeah, so, yeah, if that happens to you, just freestyle it. Just say something that makes sense, and and you can get something. Yeah,
what he's saying is right. Even if you have a mental block, just freestyle it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Bali, have you ever had mental blocks yet in like matric? I think I had one in matric before.
Every time I'm writing life sciences.
Life science, because biology.
Every time,
because that's a lot of theory too.
No, because when you say, when you see something, you're like, when did we learn about this? I know there's a bit of physics in life sciences, but I don't wanna take it too hard. No, because every time I'm writing, I was like, why am I doing physics now? I just hate it. Hate it, and I do. So I freestyle a lot. You're not supposed to freestyle in life sciences. How freestyle about intestines? How is that possible? Yeah. But I do it. Call me delusional.
I've had that thing where, like, you study, but as soon as you sit in the exam room, like, everything just disappears. And
Gone.
I think we should also pray before you start the test. Please pray. It's just like, if I've seen this thing before, please, Lord, just
help me remember.
Least, and then give me something to work with so that I can start at least, building on it. We must pray. Must pray everywhere.
Have you guys also had that thing where, like, let's say your exam is 3 hours, and then 2 hours you're blank, 30 minutes remaining in the exam? That's when all the answers start flooding in. Have you ever had that?
Personally, no.
You've never had that? Crazy.
No, I wouldn't say it has happened to me. What I do is, let's say there's a question paper, right? Anyway, you cannot just go blank on everything. Right? So you just look for those easy questions, like, okay, if I know this for a fact, just to manage your time. So if you know a question, right, or in a specific question, like, okay, this is easy, answer it right away so that you get rid of it and you start focusing on what is actually maybe challenging. So I've never had like a mind block for like 2 hours in a test. It means you didn't prepare at all.
No, it's not necessarily like 2 hours. Like, it's just you get more answers in the final minutes of the test. Not that your mind has been blocked throughout the whole test, but during the final minutes, your mind is more open.
Because at the end, your energy is going, you're about to finish, you're enjoying some things.
Adrenaline, right?
Yeah. I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking, maybe because I'm like, I was one of those kids because I didn't want to fail. Like, I was one person, I don't want to come back and write this test again. That was like my mentality. I don't want to do this again. Even for like varsity, I didn't want to write a sub. In matric, I didn't want to write a sub. I was like, I just want to be able to do this now, so I don't have to go back. And I'm thinking, if I went point blank in it, the level of anxiety, the level of go I'd be going through if that happened to me. I don't think answers would end up coming like later on because of how anxious I would be.
And I think that's a very good mentality, when you're in varsity. Please don't settle for subs. Just, focus and try to, do the best you can in a specific module. Because if you do sub, it will never go above 50%, right? It's just whatever that you do, even if you get 100% to that sub, it will just cap it at 50%, right? Unless I'm wrong, but
because I had one sub.
Just try and do your best to get the best of a specific module.
And I think another thing, before we go on to other questions, I think another thing about varsity, it's also a little bit the same in high school, but in varsity we call it Hell Week. Your Hell Week, guys, no, for real. It lives up to its name because everything, you'll be having tests, you'll be having assignments, and like maybe a week later is when you're writing exams. For me personally, like when I think of Hell Week, I remember, like, okay, so this is, I think, where motivation and discipline comes in. So also let us know how you guys stayed motivated in varsity when you're feeling discouraged, even in high school, like in matric. So what I would do, right, to like motivate myself during exams and like Hell Week is, okay, so one, I'd go on to like Property 24 and I'll go look at the most expensive house, right? When I'm like, I'm actually losing morale. I'm here, I'm busy thinking, what, just dropping out seems like it's a good option right now. I'll go on Property 24 and I look at the most expensive house and I'd be like, one day I want to stay in a house like that. And then I also used to look at YouTube videos of like the most how our parents used to tell us how they used to go to school, how they went through mountains and rivers and stuff like that. So I'd like Google kids who actually really do that. So there was a whole like documentary of like I forgot, it was like the most difficult ways to go to school. And I would look at these people, I'm like, this person is crossing a mountain to go to school. Luto, you're just gonna jump into your car and go to school. Like, come on, girls. That's how I motivated myself. I don't know, how did you guys motivate yourselves through Hell Week, and how are you motivating yourself in matric?
Motivation. I just sometimes I'll be like, over to you, my dear. Just giving it to God, to be honest. But motivation, Property 24. I do that because I also found a house. It was like 10 million. Someone bought it. That's what.
That happened to me once.
That's what I was like. People have money. People are out here buying my house. Like, yeah. I feel like that. I think that's also motivation, to be honest. And some people like even on the news, be like, oh, someone my age has money. Some people have started businesses, living their life at my age. Joe,
like, what are you doing?
Like, how you doing it? Like, people 21, posh, aibo. So like, yeah, that's one of the things too, to be honest. And even like being the firstborn is also like motivation. Like, have to be an example to my sister.
Yes.
Have to make my parents proud because the school I go to is expensive. I have to there has to be like results out of this, to be honest. So yeah, that's it.
How are you guys keeping motivated?
To be honest, the only thing that was keeping me motivated was, man, I can't let my mother's money go to waste.
Yeah, same here.
All that money, and then I must go to school and look at girls, play around.
No. For my side, one thing that kept me motivated was, the same pressure that you're like, okay, so parents are paying like money for you to go to school. And for example, for me as an international student, they pay rent as well for me to stay here, right? So that's a lot. And imagine if I have to add one more year, so it's like 12 months of rent and school fees. And another thing also that actually motivated me to try to do my best, was the bursaries, the bursaries, right? So, imagine if you call your mom and you're like, I got a bursary because of these marks. There's you make them proud, and it's really nice when they're like, they goes, So it's really something that I want to see more and more. So I think that's what kept me motivated. And also they give money to students, they give you a bursary, and then they also give you some allowances. Okay, so here's 5K because you did well. Imagine, you're not working, you're just a student, but the university pays for you your school fees and they give you some more money. Just like that, because you had good marks. So that's something to get motivated about. So I think motivated me.
Property 24, I don't do that. I don't do that. But I just increasing desire. Find someone to speak to. Like, whenever I'm low of energy, I find someone to speak to. And talking it out, it helps at the end of the day. And this person will tell me how they went through it and all of that. I found someone I speak to, and it helps.
Yeah, so I guess the moral is find your coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
Find something that motivates
Yeah,
you,
or someone you look up to.
and or someone you look up to, and use it to
Yeah.
feel so that at
I
least
think-
at the end of the day, not everything is going to work for
for everyone
Yeah.
else. Yeah. And I think this is also how we're talking about friends at the beginning of this. I think this is where the importance of having a good friends or good people, a friendship group in school while studying. For like also same here personally, like I had 2 friends. It's just the 3 of us, and like those hands pushed. So if you're in varsity, get hands that push, okay? Who are focused. Get yourself focused hands.
Get yourself
as
a
friends.
hand. Get yourself get yourself a hand.
No.
Push you. Is that not what you're saying?
No, get a if you're a hun, okay, it doesn't actually matter. Get yourself a focused hun if you like being friends with huns. Get yourself a focused hun, right? And if you're a guy, get yourself focused guys. And if it doesn't matter, just get yourself focused people or friends who can motivate you. If you have questions, who you can ask. If you're not understanding, they are someone who can help you understand. So you can also, when you're losing, again, motivation, it's like when you're like, guys, let's push, having like, so when my 3rd year was during COVID. So what we did with my friends is that we used to have video calls once a week just to be able to study. So I think having friends like that around you whilst I don't know what others did, but you see, now here I am. I'm a graduate. I'm a learned girl. So, period. Because, I am the moment. So, yeah.
Yeah, we had asked a few people about their experiences transitioning from high school to university. We asked them and they sent in their videos, and let's just have a look at what they had to say.
My experience in university from high school has been quite overwhelming, very overwhelming actually. I've experienced having to stand on my own without the help of my parents or anyone. And then it's like having to understand that no one cares and you have to care for yourself because nobody cares in university. It's having to learn how to manage time, how to manage money, how to deal with the workload. There's a lot of work here.
I'm more control with my decision making now than I would have in high school. So that means that I have more responsibility of utilizing all the things that I'm exposed to now. Because I'm exposed to way more things that I would have in high schools, but now I'm more responsible with my decision making.
For me, transitioning from high school to university, it is not easy at all because that drastic change from staying with your parents to alone, that was like a really big thing for me because I had to start taking responsibility. My mom was not there to be like, do this, do what, So I had to start taking responsibility. I had to start learning how to manage my finances because for me, back then, if I had money, I had to buy sweets, I had to buy food, I had to buy clothes and all that. So now having money, I need to think about, okay, I need to eat, if those kind of things. And another thing is the academic expectation in university is huge because first of all, for you to pass, you can't just pass by attending lectures only. You have to self-study and all that, and that is not easy because it requires discipline. So from high school, discipline.
Firstly, it wasn't a smooth one. Varsity was a whole new environment. Nobody prepared me for it. I had lecturers and not teachers, so the learning style was completely different. I had expectations from family and friends, but varsity was a whole different ball game. I was humbled. There was so much workload, so little time, so the pressure was on. And I had to do more studying and more reading because varsity requires you to read a lot of books. So I made that a habit, and my friends were not there, so I had to meet new people and make new friends, and no uniform, so I had to buy new clothes, and you know how it goes. And varsity, there's just so many rules that I had to adapt to it.
welcome back. As we're talking about today is transitioning from high school into varsity. So during the break, we had point of views and we're going to read some comments.
Yes. So we got some comments here. Our first comment is from Nande Nkomba, who says, no one really talks about the pandemic of being the first one to finish in an exam room. And sometimes it's not because I was better prepared. And then we have Kelvin Nguenya, who says, graduation season has been my motivation. I picture myself during the ceremony, then I immediately open my books, and also being the first child to go to varsity, I did not want to disappoint.
That's a focused man.
That's a focused man.
Yeah. Shout out to you.
Shout out to you.
What did I say?
Yeah, those are all the comments we have for now. So just leave your comments down in the comment section. Tell us about your experiences and
any hints on motivation. Share your motivations.
What motivated you when you were struggling, and how? Just tell us about your experience. Just be free in the comments.
Varsity, were you coaching? Were you a potter? Yeah. Were you a studier? Were you both? Because other people can do both. Other people can party, and then at the same time they can study. So let us know. So our next thing is university brokenness. Being broke, not having guap, not having cash.
And as far as students can relate?
Yes, that's for students, you know. So, I personally, also because you're still technically at home, but because now you're like low-key beginning adulting, like parents now, they small, they are saying, no. So how have you guys dealt with, I guess, not having money in varsity?
This is very close to my heart.
Oh man.
Yeah, there was a time. It also actually raises the topic of managing your money. Yeah. Right. So I get some money from home, like for the whole month, and then I have to manage it myself, like going to university and then buying groceries and everything. There was a time I finished everything on the 16th. Now imagine you have to go. You have to. Yeah.
That's good though. That's good. 16th.
Yeah.
I get to 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I wonder how you survived, man.
Noodles. The whole month.
And I was at some friends, and then you just borrow and everything. But it's not nice, eh? So. Yeah.
I think that is another learning curve about varsity, especially if you are staying by yourself, is how to deal with. So if you are getting allowance from home, or if you are working and studying at the same time, it's how to deal with your finances. Like I remember my older sister. My older sister loves clothes. To be a pretty girl. She said, "I'm actually gonna be that girl," right? So I remember my father. My father used to give her like allowance because she used to stay at Ray's, right? And then like maybe on the 10th, tata, I don't have money. So I think maybe my father would like give, and then eventually like we put 2 and 2 together, be like, but babes, what's going on? Like, where's your money going, right? And then obviously I didn't expose her. I think her mom exposed her. So obviously me, I'm seeing my sister, she's changing, she's doing the weaves, the Brazilians, and I'm like, wow, Sam, you're so pretty. Mind you, she's taking the money that's supposed to go to food and she's buying clothes. Like, how many people I know in varsity survived off noodles?
there is this thing of they're like, okay, it's either food or clothing, and some choose clothing, like they're like, okay, now I'm just gonna buy clothes and then I'll drink water.
Yeah. I know some people will be like, you know what, guys, slang is forever. Hunger is temporal.
You die.
Yeah. Like, how are you supposed to focus?
How are you slaying with skinny bones?
So I think it's like university programs. I think that is like that's like a wake up call, and how to balance and make sure that your money lasts you. Like the 15th is actually really not that bad. Like like he said, like first week.
No, but when you're broke, like time moves slow.
It does.
And sometimes I don't know about others, but if you don't have the money, you'll be focusing on like, okay, so what am I gonna do to get the money? You won't be able to even focus on what you're studying and everything. So it's something to avoid. I would actually suggest, if you can, try to finish at least with 10% of your money toward the end of the month. And also save. Come on, I'm sure we get enough, and we just mismanage.
That's true.
So just learn, and you won't get, if you can't manage a little money, you won't be able to manage a lot. So very
good point.
Yeah. So let's talk about, we're going to touch a little bit, if you are studying and working at the same time. So when I was in school, when I was studying, I was doing coaching, right? So I even remember the girls I was coaching had a netball match, and I was writing. So I think it's stuff like that. You learn how to like manage things. You also learn how to report now, like before you actually get an actual job, like the reporting things to like bosses. Be like, I'm coming. I'm just writing. And that match, I had to be the umpire for it. Yo, guys, do I tell you? Did I not run across that field? And also, when you're late is when Waze and Maps is not working. It's when it's gonna make you lost.
Yeah. That's so true.
So yeah, I don't know if you guys did work, and if you are working, how are you coping with managing work and varsity? And if you have worked in matric, because I think I did promotions in matric, like a little bit, because to be the liker of things.
My mother doesn't want me to. No, not necessarily. She just says if I work and then I have to juggle to school, it's gonna be a lot, to be honest. At the time I come from school, I won't. It's not possible, to be honest. But I feel like with you talking about being broke in whatever, I won't be that girl, because I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
Don't make the same mistakes that we did.
My parents said, no, you're not going to rest. Because I'm gonna meet a lot. Because obviously I'm not like that kid who goes out a lot. So obviously when I get to rest, and now I'm alone, I don't have parents, I'm gonna go wild. I feel like that's why they don't want me to go, because I'm gonna be the party girl. I'm gonna be the tripping girl, and then wear books. So I think that's why I won't go whatever.
To raise
noodles, Haibo. Haibo. Because I know some people. We eat noodles and tomato sauce in varsity. Like, what are you doing to yourself?
That's absolutely nasty.
Why do you do, like, I understand with bread, tomato sauce.
I heard what you said. Yeah, I heard you said it's absolutely nice.
Nasty.
Nasty. Yeah,
like noodles with tomato sauce.
I was gonna stay on that topic so that you can tell me why you find it nice. But yeah, you said nasty. Please don't do that. Yeah.
Time management is tricky when you're working and studying.
Yeah.
It's challenging, but again, you get good at it.
Yeah.
So at this time I'm supposed to be at school, at this time I'm supposed to study. From this time to this time I'm working.
Yeah.
That's standard.
Yeah.
And then you're studying to put in, sometimes you get tired.
Yeah.
And then sleep gets shorter and shorter every time.
Yeah.
So sleep gets sacrificed in this.
Yeah.
But
so actually talking about that goes to our next question. How do you balance it? It's work, if you are working in varsity, it's studying, it's your social life, and sleep.
Yeah, and that I'll talk for myself. I started tutoring. I'm a tutor to the university. I started tutoring in my 3rd year, right? So while I had students to teach and attend and everything, and mark students, I also had my own thing to study. Now, managing both things was not easy. There was some times where I have a class at 9 a.m. and I also have a tutorial at the same time. So now I have to see, do I go to class or do I go and, it's a commitment. I have to go and tutor other kids, right? Like I need to tell them what I know, for example, on a specific topic. So it gets really difficult. You need to know what to sacrifice and when to sacrifice it. You need to know what to choose in a specific time, depending on whatever that you're currently doing. And and you don't sleep a lot, as you said. Like your sleeping time gets shorter and shorter. So
Yeah. That's it on that, on managing work, social, church. Yeah, I think it's
church.
And church. There'll be, like, for example, there was a time where there was this, I think it was a service on Friday. I think it was overnight or something. And I have classes. Right now I have classes from 6 to 10. I study at night. So it's really difficult. You'll have like, okay, so should I do this or should I do that? It's really not easy, but you need to get ready for that, eh?
Yeah. like disclaimer, warning. You see, we're warning you. We were not warned. We were just ngapagati inside, finding how to like manage it. It's friends, it's family. Because all of a sudden now there's your niece's birthday you have to attend. There's this ban's family gathering, you need to be there. There's also a test that you have to write, and at the same, and you know, like families be like, oh my gosh, how's school? How's school? And yet, I don't know if that's the point where you're like, school is school.
Yeah.
Like,
It's schooling.
Like school is like doing the most at this particular time. So
yeah, going back a little bit when we're talking about noodles and university brokenness, I think we have a video that I want you guys to see. Like, I want all of us to, even viewers at home, please watch this video that's about to play now.
Let's buy fruits. Let's buy a packet of apples, grapes. Hey, win. And do you know how many packet of noodles will come from one packet of apples? This is not at home here. This is res life. You must eat as little as possible and save as much as possible. Donna, you must fast. You fast, yeah. You fast. Give yourself a week of water fast. Look, you will connect with God at res. You will fast. You will connect with the higher power here.
wow, I guess relatable content, man. So I guess he's relatable
that was
content.
So funny.
Yeah.
He's on point. He's got a point. You know, you will have to connect with God. It's very important, even though he's saying it in a joking way. Connect. You know, it's important.
Do you know how many packets of noodles will come out from one packet of apples? Yeah. So we've had a little comments flying in, and we have Tebuho Kosano who says, I had to be alone to study because the prophet said you will not die alone.
Shout out. Shout out.
And then we have Stationary Boutique. When you enter Varsity, noodles become your best friend. She relates.
Sorry. Okay, I want to ask a question, but continue reading the comments.
We have Kelvin Ngwenya who says, if you're well dressed in Varsity, you are hungry, but then if it is not on point, then you're not hungry.
Yeah, correct.
And then we have Princess Nube who says, I'm still in high school and it's so hard. What about Varsity? Yo.
No, high school, Varsity and high school, they're actually both hard, but I think they're hard in different ways. I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense.
I feel like for me, high school, the hardness, I think because I had such a hectic schedule. Like, I was so busy. So that's like I had mentioned earlier on. Now Varsity, I have all this time. So that was the difficulty for me in high school, which is good because I'm glad that I was that busy girl, because if I wasn't busy, I'd be in the streets. So I think because I had the drama, I had sports, I had sports even after sports. So I felt like for me that was the hardness with high school. Even like, I think also because like I don't know if I should be saying this, but high school, like there's certain things you learn, like Euclidean maths. Now I must be finding an angle in a circle. Do you get what I'm saying? Whereas and in high school, the way they test you is, especially for like English, okay guys, here's the poem, this is how I want you to answer it. If you don't answer it like this and that, X, Y, and Z, it has to be X, Y, and Z. Whereas in Varsity, you are allowed to like be able to apply what you've learned. It's not to the book, you have to show if you actually understand the work. So it's applying. So I think high school is difficult in the sense of you have to answer like A, B, C, and D, and then Varsity becomes difficult because now you have to unlearn answering A, B, C, and D and learning from the book. So yeah.
There is something I wanted to say, but I forgot.
It's okay.
I'll remember.
I remember. I hope, Princess, you've gotten something from what Luther
I remembered.
Said. You remembered?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So it's about Princess. There is something about Varsity. You'll grow with it.
Yeah.
You'll become mature as time goes. So yeah, don't worry about it. you'll be fine. Don't worry.
You'll be absolutely. And varsity is also, I think it's going into our next question, because of this independence of you're not like people are on you. That's also the fun, like the nice aspect of varsity. You're able to grow in yourself, and I feel like it's such a nice place to learn mistakes, like learning how to budget. Right? If you are staying by yourself, and if you're not staying by yourself, eventually your parents do start limiting, and you start getting responsibilities at home. I think it's a great place to learn for like the outside, both like academically and with all the things you go through in varsity. That brokenness, you don't experience brokenness in matric. You have parents cooking for you. In varsity now, you have to cook for yourself. If you're staying by yourself, it's you has to manage your groceries, and you start learning what's important and what's not important. So you got this, princess. Don't stress, babes. You're gonna shine, man.
And would you say you feel the same way as princess, or
About how
how she's scared for varsity? She's saying high school is tough.
High school is hard. So what about varsity?
No, I'm genuinely scared, to be honest. I look fine. I'm genuinely scared, to be honest. Because, no, it's a lot. I feel like, obviously, the transition is going to be hard. And you mentioned something about being I forgot, you see. Yeah, the free time, like that. Yeah, I feel like that's also going to be a problem, because I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
Oh, no, because
I know I'm always busy. Like, if I'm not busy, there's something wrong, to be honest, which means I'm falling back with something. So I feel like that would be hard. But then it's going to be easy, but I'll enjoy it, but I'll abuse it at the same time. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if this will be able to also help you. I think varsity is, I don't want to say easier, but I think it's better than high school in the sense of now if your parents are nice, you're studying what you want, if that makes sense. Whereas in high school, you have an X amount of subjects to choose from. It's life science, maths, English, Afrikaans, this and this and that. Yes, in grade 9, you get to choose like particular subjects, but you are in a framework of particular subjects to choose from. Whereas now in varsity, you can do anything. You can, if you like drawing, you can study graphic design. You can study art. If you really like history, you can study history. So I think in that aspect, that makes varsity copeable, because now you're actually studying something you want. And it is also another motivational aspect, because let's say if you want to be a doctor, shout out to you. Now you're going through, like you see how you feel about life science. If someone wants to be a doctor, they're going to learn that life science there in varsity. So I think with that, it makes it easier. So, yeah.
To add on the point of time, having free time, I think you should use it wisely, because there'll be some times where you won't even have any free time anymore. Like it will be so much that you won't be able to juggle. So what I would suggest, or I'll actually advise, use that free time maybe to learn in advance, so let's say, for example, you have this thing called study guide, right, in university or even in high school. So so you know what you're going to learn next week. So just start going through it. I mean, you are reading, it's English, so you can so you just go through it, right? And then maybe when the lecturer comes, you might have some questions, and then you can ask.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Agreed. All right. Any more comments?
Oh yeah, we have more comments here. The next comment is from Marceline Lotima, who says, "What about online students who tackle working and studying at the same time? Then money starts tasting too good that you start thinking of putting school on hold to make that guap."
To answer you, Marceline, I think that's also the day, that's a discussion for another day. Once you start making money in varsity, right? Think about how much more money you could have if you're actually a learned and a degreed person. Automatically, when you're a graduate, you have a minimum pay wage. When you don't have a degree, you can be earning less than an X amount of money. But if you have a degree, there's an X amount of money you qualify by making automatically. So think about that. Be like, yes, I'm making more money, but if I have a degree, I could be making more money than this. I don't know if you guys have any add-ons to that.
Yeah, actually, you are very right. Like, there is a benchmark. You cannot earn less than a specific amount of time or amount of money. And the society we are in, like, they just want you to have that paper. Just get it, man. You know, that degree. And if you may be doing something part-time that is not the same as what you're currently studying, just get the degree. and then you'll go continue what you're doing and make money with it. And then there'll be a day where you'll use that degree. So yeah, just finish that thing. You started it, right? So, yeah.
Next comment from Fidelity Fuk. Juggling work and school is not easy. No one is pushing you but yourself, and it requires a lot of discipline.
Yeah, so true.
And then we have Gabriel, who at Marceline Lotima. School is temporary. Guap is important. So choose that which, when you choose, will choose you back.
yeah. I think what Gabriel is saying is reminding me of what Prophet used to say many years ago, that parties will be there forever. If you're someone like when you're partying, he's like, partying was in my day, it's still here. But books, you're only learning. It's for a season. It's honestly 4 years. If you are gonna be a doctor and study more than that, then yes, it's like over 6 years. But it's for a very short period of time compared to when you're actually done studying. So yeah, guys.
And then Marceline raises another good point. What if they both don't choose you back?
That's to Gabriel. What if they don't choose you back?
Yeah.
The money and the degree. No, the degree, you choose the degree. Eventually, you'll get the results of you choosing that degree. Even if you don't end up using that degree, but that degree is going to open a particular door, because in certain instances, sometimes they won't even look at people. They're going to say degree holders only.
Yeah, we force relationships here.
So force that relationship. If the degree is not picking you, you pick it.
We don't play, we force.
And then we have Angel, who says uni is not child's play. If you don't have character and you don't know yourself, you won't survive. Nomcebo, staying at res has its perks against brokenness. Some students study at night, so be the person to provide them with snacks at a price, of course. So she's giving business advice.
Businesswoman. Takeaway points for varsity. It is high school and varsity very different. Profound, you're gonna need discipline, understand, know how to balance the independence through discipline, and like I think it's important to know like your core values, because I remember my first day so I went to a Christian school, and I remember like my first day walking up the campus, right? I saw like a couple kissing and had never seen that until varsity. I said, wow, guys, in the publics, wow, on a public platform. So it's things like that like shock you about varsity. So just, yes, you're going to be shocked. It's a cultural shock.
Man, I saw those things in crash, eh? I saw those things in crash.
But just, remain focused and always remember why you're there. That's my takeaway.
Yeah, my takeaway mostly is the people you surround yourself with. And this is not only something with school, in life in general. The people you surround yourself with have a huge effect on what you produce and who you are also. And yeah. And then over to you guys.
I can say that what I've learned today is like there's a difference between high school and varsity, but to be honest, there's not much of a difference at the same time. It's just the way you take it in, to be honest, and how you navigate yourself through it, to be honest. But it's easy so far.
Love it. Yes.
What I'd say about varsity, if it's your first time, the first time you'll have it only once, right?
Yeah.
So enjoy it, man.
Yeah. Just honestly,
go try stuff. Don't try too much. Yeah, try stuff. Try to earn money out of varsity because it's very much possible. Yeah, and don't lose your goal. You have a specific objective when you join varsity, and make sure that at the end of your 3 or 4 years, you have fulfilled it. Set a goal, and then make sure you fulfill it. So yeah.
When choosing friends in varsity, I suggest you choose friends who are going the direction you're going. So just the same as you chose a career, let's say engineering.
Yeah.
You're not studying doctor books. You're studying engineering books.
Yeah.
So those are the type of friends to be with, who are going the same direction with you. And even in character, whatever, same direction with you, your morals, what you learned from home, if it's what you want to keep going forward, look for that. Who are going the same way. If they're not, continue looking. 9 months is a lot of time.
Yeah, that's very true. Actually, most of my friends right now are people I met in second year. So you can imagine most of all the people I knew in first year, it's just like, oh hey, sure, cool. And that's all.
All right. We could go on and on and on and on, but unfortunately, we have come to the end of today's show. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like the video, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to comment. Share with a friend, share with someone who might be in matric or someone who's struggling in their first year right now, and maybe they can take something away from this. Anyways, that's been it from us. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and
Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook. Till we see each other again tomorrow, same time, same place. Shalom.
Bye.
Peace.